This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and ONeill Biscuits.
Over 40,000 applicants shortlisted. State-of-the-art specialist hospital opened. And 10-year PNG Capital Market development strategy announced. A very good evening. This is Monday's news. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. The recent police recruitment drive has seen almost 50,000 interested applicants nationwide apply. This was revealed by Deputy Police Commissioner and Chief of Administration Joanne Clarkson.
Deputy Commissioner Clarkson clarified that of the 48,772 interested applicants, a total of 13,039 were shortlisted. According to Ms. Clarkson, once the screening process for the remaining online applicants is completed, the number of shortlisted applicants list is expected to increase. For NCD Central and Gulf provinces, 3,985 shortlisted applicants will begin their interviews from Monday, the 3rd to the 21st of April at the Writ of Lynn Courts in Port Moresby. For the Northern and Border Command, 5,261 applicants were shortlisted, with Highlands Western End Command endorsing a total of 1,153 applicants. Interviews for both commands will begin from the 8th of May to the 2nd of June. The Highlands Eastern End Command, 1,183 applicants were shortlisted and are scheduled to begin their interviews from the 8th to the 19th of May. For the Southern Border Commands, 368 applicants were endorsed for interviews, expected to start from the 22nd of May to the 2nd of June. The New Guinea Islands Commands and the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, a total of 2,505 applicants, were shortlisted, and their interviews will begin from the 5th to the 16th of June 2023. Ms. Clarkson clarified that this is a tentative schedule taking into account external factors like the anticipated by-elections for Wewak Open, Lagaip Open seat in the Enga province and the North Bougainville seat. According to the RPNGC, this recruitment drive has been enormous, with the constabulary taking appropriate measures to protect the integrity of this recruitment drive. Ms. Clarkson further clarified that applicants will be strictly selected on merit as the RPNGC strives to recruit the best. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
The capital market strategy expert under the Pacific Private Sector Development Initiative, Peter Taylor, said there are considerable opportunities for PNG and its development, but the key is to have a sound legislative framework, independent commission, and take advantage of opportunities to grow the market. This was announced when presenting the PNG Capital Markets Development Strategy 2023 to 2033 to the Papua New Guinea Securities Commission and other key stakeholders today at the APEC House in Port Moresby.
In May 2022, Papua New Guinea Securities Commission or SPNG and Asian Development Bank, through its Pacific Private Sector Development Initiative or PSDI, signed an MOU complementing the work supporting the development of PNG's capital market. This work is supported with additional funding from the Government of Australia and New Zealand. PNG's partnership with ADB or PSDI runs until October 2024 and responds to the capital markets related recommendations of the Financial Sector Development Strategy 2018 to 2030. As part of that work and in consultation with stakeholders, PSDI has developed the PNG Capital Markets Development Strategy 2023 to 2033, which was presented to the SCPNG and other stakeholders today. When presenting the strategy, Peter Taylor said capital markets promote economic development and economic growth, However, in PNG, the key challenges are diverse and fast-growing population, high level of poverty, crime and corruption, low literacy, underdeveloped capital markets, and poor corporate governance.
Small to medium enterprise, SMEs, access to markets is a challenge. SMEs do struggle to raise finance. So as part of the work that PSDI is doing is actually producing new legislation to support SMEs.
Australian High Commission Third Secretary Ruben Seaton said the Australian government is very pleased to support through PSDI for the broader development of PNG Capital Markets. He believes that Australia will expand investment opportunities and helps in inclusive economic growth, increase jobs and promote prosperity in PNG.
The development of robust and efficient capital markets is key for ensuring that PNG can attract capital and allocate it efficiently, and we can see that this has been based on IOSCO's best practices.
The acting executive chairman for SPNG, James Joshua, says the PNG Capital Markets Development Strategy 2023 to 2033 is a roadmap that will guide them. Therefore, a collective effort is needed.
It will guide the Commission and then our partners within the Financial Sector Development Strategy, BPNT, and Treasury. It's a collaborative effort that we will sit down some policy issues that need to be looked at.
Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
The former Prime Minister and member for Yalibu Pangia, Peter ONeill, in a recent Parliament sitting asked the government to focus on real issues that are affecting the country like inflation and unemployment.
In one of the recent Parliament sittings, former Prime Minister Peter ONeill raised few points on some of the issues that people are facing in the country. He asked if the government can focus on the current inflation issue and many others.
Focus on the issue about cost of living in this country. And let me tell you what cost of living means if the Treasurer does not know. That is the price of goods and services that is affecting every family in this country. And its affordability, Mr. Speaker. If you have not been to the shops lately, please try go shopping once in a while. You will see the real struggles families are going through.
He also touched on other issues like the unemployment rates, access to better infrastructures, and reliable health and education services.
It's about access to infrastructure. And I'm pleased to know that the government is continuing some of the work that we have started on building roads, building ports, building airports. These are things that will improve the living standards of our people. Try and focus on those. And the third issue, Mr. Speaker, is access to reliable, quality health and education. These are challenges that people are facing today. Access to quality health and education. That improves living standards of individuals and families right across the country. And the fourth issue, Mr. Speaker, is about peaceful society. Address law and order. Address law and order which is not getting out of hand in this country. Those are things that will improve living standards of people. In 2014, the unemployed was 2.6%. In 2016, the rate of unemployment was 2.5%. 2018, it was 2.4%. And 2020, it went up to 2.7%. And 2022-23, they're expecting it to be at 2.8%.
He further added that he is pleased to see some of the things the government is doing in terms of infrastructure, continuing from where he left as a former Prime Minister. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National MTV News. A total of 22 officers from key government agencies were given certificates after completing a capacity building training in Port Moresby earlier this month. The training was to help officers broaden their understanding on the type of climate funds available and how to gain access to these funds.
The training was conducted by Global Green Institute in partnership with Climate Change and Development Authority through the funding support from the Australian Government's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. The training will help these officers to understand the climate change funding sources and how to access them. Officers from the Department of Treasury, Finance, Planning and Monitoring, National Energy Authority and the Climate Change and Development Authority participated in the training program. CCDA's General Manager Deborah Sungi, in her opening remarks, said climate finance is always a priority for the government of PNG and thanked DFAT and GGI. Global Green Growth Institute Officer in Charge Penny Amina Levi says there are many funding sources available like the Green Climate Fund, Adaptation Fund and others, but the issue is how do we design, develop, review and evaluate proposals to access these funds, especially when there are serious needs across sector agencies in government. Samantha Solomon, National MTV News.
Women from Tikana local level government in Kavieng district have petitioned responsible authorities to address law and order issues relating to women in New Island province. The peaceful protest march coincided with National Women's Day last Friday.
Dressed in colors black and purple to commemorate National Women's Day, these enthusiastic women from Tikana, LLG and surrounding areas marched with banners and placards in their hands with messages that are somewhat affecting women folk throughout the country. The women marched from Kavieng National Courthouse through the main town area and proceeded to the market area and then on to the local level government assembly building. LLG Women's Representative Genevieve Cho highlighted a number of pointers in the petition, including equipping police and courts with resources and adequate funding to carry out their functions, enact the Vagrancy Act, build safe houses for victims of GBV, and build proper fish market facilities. On hand to receive the petition was Governor Sir Julius Chen, Provincial Police Commander Albert Belly, and other provincial government representatives. Governor Chen gave his assurance that pointers in the petition will be considered. He added his provincial government has put forward the New Island Strategic Plan to combat gender-based violence and to promote equality. This plan is now before the Assembly. Lindy Suharupa, National MTV News.
Farmers have raised concerns over the increase in shipment charges and the damages to their produce due to poor storage facility to transport their produce to desired destinations. They are calling on the government to allow alternative shipping companies to operate to provide a suitable market for them.
According to these farmers, their produce get damaged due to a number of reasons. However, they strongly disagree with the type of services provided by the shipping company that are currently operating.
Again, come down to Ley. From Ley, me plus a shipping company, one la company tasolem, Bismarck Shipping Company. Me looking for some Bismarck Shipping Company. Now when price blame go on top too much, na shipping one la company tasol me bla work lo game kai but demand blame high na stop. All talking me bla lo signing one la paper we kai bla go na sting or one in about no got refund bla so lo me bla swift met na salimiet but all kai come na sting lo all get up we all news line.
They are calling on the government to allow for other shipping company to enter the market to make it flexible for them.
Okay, come stop loya na sting loya me bla lost him big bla money start. Osem so appeal bla me bla line loya me bla appeal bla me bla go lo public ni government osem People like him providing one last shipping company or one him about and make him easy so that people must salem all kai come now.
Meantime, attempts to get comments from the shipping company Bismarck today were unsuccessful. We will keep you updated on this story. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
A 5-year pastoral plan was launched yesterday at Berina in the Kairuku district of Central Province. Member for Kairuku Open, Peter Isoaimo, attended and donated 10,000 kina towards the implementation of the plan.
Sisters believe that he will...
The launching of the 5-year pastoral plan eventuated yesterday at the Diocese of Berina, which is one of the biggest dioceses in Papua New Guinea with a total population of 148,000 from 3 deaneries. Member for Kairuku Open, Peter Isoaimo, who attended the Sunday service, donated 10,000 kina to support the implementation of the plan. He also took part in launching the plan along with his Lordship, Reverend Bishop Hoto Separi. The plan will act as a roadmap to guide individuals and communities to work in collaboration to address issues affecting them.
That we may follow the pastoral plan, revive our spiritual life in our homes, in our families, in our communities. The pastoral plan is a guide, a roadmap that will help us. And we look at ourselves as a person, as a community. We try to work together that through the pastoral plan, the Lord will come and give us life again. The Lord will come and help us when we look at our own self. Because I explained yesterday when we were presenting the pastoral plan, it's about seeing, judge, and act. We are using that methodology in our pastoral plan. We see the situation around us. We see all kinds of things going on. But then we have to ask the question, why is this happening? Who is going to get involved? When are we going to do something better? And then we work together and it's going to bring us peace again. See, judge, and act. That's the summary of the pastoral plan.
His Lordship, Reverend Bishop Otto Separi, acknowledged the open member for his support towards the 5-year pastoral plan. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
The Coffee Industry Corporation has released its 2022 export figures, bringing their annual volume to 840,000 bags of 60 kg that were exported out of PNG. This is an increase from the previous year, slightly past 750,000 bags, whilst foreign exchange earned was over 800 million kina. The farmers and growers have been commended for their perseverance and commitment.
According to Farmers and Settlers Association, in reality, coffee production has gone over 1 million bags, and that is positive news as coffee berry borers has halved the production volume by 40%. Based on the 2022 export figures, the Farmers and Settlers Association requested the Coffee Industry Corporation to provide the production statistics by province and develop appropriate interventions to help farmers within those areas. The association highlighted that another important intervention is for the CIC to draw down on the research and extension levy accumulated so far to be used for establishments of coffee nursery in every ward around the country and encourage policy options to revive coffee production from the blocks and plantation sector by encouraging tenant farming. They further added that the Department of Treasury to scrap off unnecessary levy and fees on fuel levy, surcharge on land, air and sea transport. Scrapping off fertilizer levy will double production in the coffee and agriculture sector and create employment. They suggest for the government to ensure transport access, law and order, land tender and respect for artwork is maintained and ramped up. PNG will reach the elusive 3 million coffee bags by 2030, and that must start now under the leadership of the Maraperoso government. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at 0.2840 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying 0.2765 US dollars, 0.4126 Australian dollars, 0.2490 euro, 35.69 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. On Tuesday, the 21st of March, local media made up of a group of journalists, camera operators, photographers and board members of Hilton were given a tour of the newly built residential apartments, which is currently under construction and nearing its completion. The newly built residence, once completed, is set to attract international tourists, but also provide local employment. Enjoy your stay in stylish hotel featuring a rooftop lounge, several restaurants, stunning views, a fitness center, outdoor pool and 24-hour security is Hilton Hotel Port Moresby, located in Hohola, boasting a mix of lifestyle and heritage of Papua New Guinea.
We have around 250 employees here. We intend to boost that by another 40%, so there'll be 100 to 110 new employees join us simply because we have this, full-time, again, 180 units where people live there, right? So there's no checking in and checking out, right? So it basically runs at high occupancy.
In an exclusive private tour of the Hilton's new residential apartments gave the media some perspective into what visitors and tenants can expect when they choose to stay at Hilton's luxury residence.
And we look at every opportunity. We don't like to buy imported goods where we can. We like to source locally, buy locally. So we've been working with a lot of suppliers throughout the country where we can cut the cost of importing and duties and that sort of thing, and obviously we like to give back to the communities.
According to Paul Houghton, Hilton is a 104-year-old company with 50 years of operation, where the Hilton brand is in all four corners of the world. It is a brand you can trust when it comes to your accommodation needs.
The challenge now is, just as any other project, is through the completion stages, the testing, commissioning of all the systems that go into a hotel, IT stuff, HVAC, electricity, and also just to get the quality right and the time that we have. So there's a lot of inspections. We go through a lot of inspections in the property to make sure it's completed right with the right quality.
The new residence is set to boost the team member count at Hilton at least by 40%. He added that across Asia Pacific and South Pacific, the real issue has always been manpower. But that's not the case in PNG, because there is a lot of experience and talents in PNG the hotel has always looked at in the past when it came to employment.
So, my colleagues tell me that every time something's out there, we have large numbers of people, good quality people looking to employ. There are a number of companies and freehold hotels here, which means that there are people with natural skills.
Now, this newly built residences, once completed, is not only set to bring in international tourists, but also provide at least 40% of local employment. And moving to overseas news now, cost of living pressures in Queensland, Australia have forced some university students to skip meals and rely on food banks to sustain themselves.
Is down to one meal a day.
This one's my shelf. Got some bread and cheese in there, so it should last a couple more days, hopefully.
The 19-year-old lives in a share house and works part-time. She says healthy food has been the first to go.
I think I've gone at least a month before without any kind of vegetables.
The food bank at her Brisbane University is struggling to keep up with demand from both domestic and international students, limiting handouts to 10 items a fortnight.
They are working multiple jobs just to afford rent, food. People are going hungry. People are putting themselves in really risky situations because of this cost of living crisis.
The National Student Union says welfare programs are popping up at campuses across the country.
Students are surviving, that is a great word for it, but they're not thriving.
Here at the University of Queensland, hundreds of students line up 5 nights a week to get access to a free meal. It's an initiative run by the Student Union, and it says demand has tripled just this year. Called the Campus Kitchen, it feeds nearly 2,000 students a week, like these two who've just had their rent go up around $100 a week to nearly $400.
It's like exceeds my budget, and it's keep exceeding and exceeding.
I've heard people skipping out on car insurance or personal medication because they just simply cannot afford to live.
Inflation at the highest rate in 3 decades, making it hard to keep the wolf from the door.
I don't want to let financial stress bring me down, but I guess we'll see.
US President Joe Biden has ordered federal aid to be sent to the southern state of Mississippi, where a powerful tornado has left thousands of people homeless.
A small, close community in Mississippi. There is little left. They've lost loved ones, their homes, everything.
We get storms like bad rain or, probably high winds or something, but we never experience nothing like this where it can wipe out a whole town. Schools, children, parents, loved ones. It wiped out everything.
These girls said they came back to look for their belongings. They didn't find much. This is what remains of people's homes here in Rolling Fork. You can see washing machines, signs of a life that took place here before. The tornado struck in the middle of the night. Many people were sleeping. You can imagine just how terrifying that must have been.
Seeing how the tree was blowing and ran in the bathroom, closed the door and jumped in the tub.
Francisco said the only warning he had was the noise of the wind, a sound that will haunt him forever.
It was terrifying, and it's like something I never want to go through again. I don't want to experience that again in their life. But I made it through there, but it was scary.
He survived by sheltering in his bathroom, the only bit of the house that's still partially standing. There is some long-term resentment here. Mississippi is the poorest state in America, and some feel forgotten by leaders in the nation's capital.
Excuse my language, damn, you forgot about us? Just because we are the last in everything, you forgot about us? That's not right. That is very heart-wrenching, other than we lost everything and we feel that we don't have support from the superior people also.
President Biden described what happened here as heartbreaking and said he and the First Lady are praying for those who had lost loved ones. But people here are asking for more than prayers and emergency relief. They want long-term support.
You're watching National EMTV News. Trukai Sports is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. SPNG Hunters will play round 4 of the Host Plus Cup in Port Moresby this coming Saturday. After successfully winning their first match in Queensland, Australia, the SPNG Hunters then went into competing in their second match. Not quite what they expected for top finish, but drew the match to their opponent. In their recent match, the round 3 of the Host Plus Cup match in Port Moresby did not turn out well for the Hunters, as they were defeated on home soil last weekend. This coming weekend, Hunters will play their round 4 match here in Port Moresby at the Santos National Football Stadium. Head coach Stanley Teppen says the team will prepare well for round 4 and work on errors before the game this coming weekend.
They work hard in that lead up, the first tackle to the fifth tackle, and when the kick stage, it's, we just have to tidy up those moments at this level. So that's something we'll work on.
Hunters are hoping to correct their mistakes and go for a win this time around as they look forward to play in front of a home crowd.
We haven't spent a lot of time training at the main field, training. So we're trying to just different options or different issues where we're trying to change. So more time in the main field to practice so they can get more familiar. That's one of the points. But otherwise, just got to just keep practicing.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. A professional boxing tournament will take place in Bougainville for the first time with a charity dinner now set to take place in April. The tournament is expected to see around 20 fighters, both male and female, compete in their respective divisions before the main event between PNG champion Junior Kauko Raka and Indonesia's Ricky Manufoe. The event will be sponsored by National Gaming Control Board and Bougainville Affairs. Preparations for this event started in late 2022. The pro boxing tournament and the gala dinner is set to take place on the 8th of April. With less than a month to this year's National Rugby League competition, the Central Dabaris are ready and looking forward to the season. CEO Yubet Warupi, in a recent interview, told the media that the team is looking to maintain a top 5 finish or even better. Last week, the Central Dabaris attended their training at the Sejongai Stadium, where the players went through various drills ahead of their curtain raiser match last weekend against the NCDC Port Moresby Vipers. The teams, having made up of players from last year the team has tried to keep, will go in with a different ball game come 2023 season opener. According to CEO Yubet Warupi, he said the training started well for the players, where they are looking forward to the challenge come April.
We have not brought in any players from other franchises. We believe that we have the core of the team that's going to take us through this season. We believe in the players that we have. We are committed to the players that we have within our roster. We also have a good representation from the players in the Central Province, and we're also totally committed to the players in the province. And that's what we will do. We will continue to stand by the players that we have.
He added that the team is looking forward to a top 5 finish or even top 3.
With another 4 weeks left until season opener, the boys do look good. They've been well looked after on and off the field, so we're hoping that we'll be able to maintain our progress from last season and with the aim of making it one step further in this year's competition.
Meanwhile, the National Rugby League competition will kickstart its 2023 season come April this year. That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby, cloudy periods with brief showers and possible thunderstorm. Daru and Kerema, few showers and possible thunderstorm. Alatau and Popondetta, brief showers. In the Mamase region, Ley, cloudy periods with few showers. Medang, Wewak and Vanimo, possible brief showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, possible brief showers. KV and Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka, mostly fine. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Mendi and Wabeg, some showers and possible thunderstorm. Goroka and Kundiawa, few showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And before we go to our top story, the East Sepik people today witnessed a milestone achievement as they witnessed the official opening of their state-of-the-art East Sepik Provincial Specialist Hospital.
Today, March 27, 2023, will go down in the history books for East Sepik Province and its people, as it marks a significant day for the province. The launching of the 210 million Kina Provincial Specialist Hospital. According to the hospital's Chief Executive Officer Matthew Kaluvia, health infrastructure is an essential part of health service delivery. The hospital was built in 1961 and since has not seen any maintenance work done to its infrastructure.
The hospital physical infrastructure has deteriorated over the years, which hindered and impeded the effective health service delivery to the people of East Sepik. Since the appointment of late CEO Mr. Mark Maludu in 2014, he took up the immediate huge challenge of rehabilitating the entire hospital in terms of its physical infrastructure development under the guidance and chairmanship of Alan Bird.
This specialist hospital is described as a state-of-the-art facility.
This modern hospital is a state-of-the-art modern hospital, and also it consists of the most advanced medical equipment. And also it will provide the advanced health service delivery under A&E department, radiology department that consists of CT scan, mammography, and fluoroscopy. And also at ONeill department, it will provide antenatal services and at its own separate ward. And then from the antenatal, it will go down to ONeill department, and that is obstetric and gynecology, then to postnatal, and then the gynecology department. That's the services that we're going to provide, including the ONeill health services. We have 4 theaters in the new hospital, and it's going to provide a state-of-the-art health services to our people.
Health Minister Dr. Lino Tom emphasized on the importance of human resource in driving the delivery of vital health services.
Health in all new infrastructure and all equipment you may put him make him walk. Walk and months I walk him. Months I walk him. Suppose all sick man all go inside long up, now look him some nest, only dry face, now look stop. But all in up kiss him marasin good. All in up kiss him marasin good. Now long where research am so must 90% of the impact where sa come up long health sector am all months sa come up him. So now today me like acknowledge him all wonderful, all beautifulnesses from me also up in front of me now. Me acknowledge him you blah. Me acknowledge him all doctor. Now all workman you all important line inside long country.
Also speaking during the launching ceremony, East Sepik Governor Alan Bird highlighted this hospital as a dream come true, not only for the East Sepik people but West Sepik included.
This la dreaman blo this la housing game start lo 2013. I mean no start now. I'm start long time yet, so me yet mi amamas lo looking finish blong em. Boro mausi game plus blo kam na inday. Em tok blo 2013, 2012, 2011, 2010. Em yumi sa tokosem. Oh gara man sa fret lo kam lo this lausi. Standard blo yumi em last. I think yumi na Western Province, Daru Ausik. We were the 2 West hospitals in Papua New Guinea. This was 2013. 2023, the best hospital in the South Pacific is in East Sepik Province.
Governor Bird thanked all who worked hard for this specialist hospital to come into fruition. This state-of-the-art hospital will cater for both East and West SPNGs and to some extent the entire population of PNG. It did not take overnight for the completion of this specialist hospital. It took time, determination and effort from so many people to see its completion and finally the launching. Florence John Duo, National EMTV News, Wewak.
And meantime, Prime Minister James Marape, who gave the keynote address, placed emphasis on the importance on the provision of modern health services the citizens of this nation deserve.
This facility we are opening is a world-class facility that reflects our commitment my generation of leaders made to our country when we took office on May 30th, 2019. And we have re-echoed that in the 2022 national general elections, that we will ensure modern health facility is delivered to our people and the health sector will be given top priority.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 27th of March, 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.